You're on mute, Greg.
I'm sorry, hit the wrong button. I apologize. Hey, so Darren, from your aspect, ever been involved in three games? Say nothing of 3 days of nothing but overtime, and in midst of all that, how'd you guys have the legs to pull this one out?
Yeah, no, I've never been a part of three games like that, especially, with the quality of opponents that we went up against these last 3 days. So just incredible resolve and grit and toughness from our group all three nights to come away with a win tonight and doing it again in overtime. They couldn't be any more proud of them.
Justin Jackson.
Yeah, question for Tucker. Tucker, obviously the first game against Gonzaga, I know you were battling cramps. Pretty much all three games you were battling being the focus of the other team's defense. Did you just find a way to just kind of toss all of that and play your game tonight? And what I mean, what did you have to overcome tonight to have the game you did?
Yeah, I think our entire team, had a ton of grit this week. Three overtime games in 3 days. Guys playing a lot of minutes, and I thought as a whole, our group just stuck together. And obviously Javon had two really good days the first two games, and again played pretty well today. It may not have showed on the stat sheet, but he was a big part of it. And today it just kind of fell in my hands today and had the hot hand. And a lot of other guys. Toby made some big shots for us. And it was a total group effort over 3 days.
And at the end of regulation, did that feel good coming off your hand and playing a third overtime game? Was that I mean, just how exhaustion? How much was exhaustion a part of the whole 3 days?
Yeah, I honestly I did think it felt good, but going to the overtimes, it's you're not really thinking much about how tired you are. I think the team that gives in the quickest and thinks about how tired they are is going to fold. And I thought our group just stuck with it and just continued to focus on the next play. And that's ultimately what kind of got us over the hump in this last one.
Thank you.
Cody Nesper.
Yeah, Coach, Arizona had the rebounding advantage early. Just kind of what changed as the game went on, especially on the offensive boards for you guys?
Well, I thought we had some guys making tremendous efforts. Toby right here, and then Amani Hansberry. I thought they you got us some huge possessions, some huge second chance opportunities. Even on some of them, they didn't get come down with the rebound. They got hands on balls, and they were everywhere. They're incredibly active and physical, and we knew coming in this was going to be a tough night. Arizona's a tremendous rebounding team, got great size and physicality, and we knew we were going to have to give every ounce of effort we had to hang on the boards and to come away up one on the glass. I think said a lot about our group's effort tonight.
Kevin Kinder.
Coach, obviously, all three of these games seem to play out kind of similarly. Louisville was able to get you out of the offense a little bit of all the motion you like to run and kind of making an ISO game at some points. It got into that a little bit today, but then you were able to get back to more of what looked like your offense at the end. What allowed that to happen? More guys being more comfortable with that? How did that come about?
Yeah, some of that I'll be honest with you is my fault. Just went matchup hunting a little bit too much at parts there, and needed to kind of stick with our motion and get that movement and things. So, in the overtime we went back to that again. But I think overall our team is at its best when we get pieces moving, the ball moving, and we're screening and getting into actions because we have guys that have a really good feel for the game. They're very unselfish. They're willing passers. They're willing to give it up, and that's something we'll continue to hopefully grow as the season moves along.
Greg Hunter.
So for Toby, you obviously hit a couple of big shots and then also very active on the glass. Was that something you knew going in, the offensive rebounding aspect that you had to bring today against that big lineup for Arizona?
The coaches had me prepared. Coach DeVries had me the last few weeks just focusing on just rebounding and playing my hardest. So that's exactly what I did.
Greg Carey.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about your strategy when Tucker picked up his third foul? You sat him for about 4 or 5 minutes, and just how important were those minutes that I think the lead increased if you at least played them even, if not built on it a little bit.
Yeah, I thought again, I trust the guys that we have coming off the bench. Tuck came out with 3 fouls there fairly early, so didn't want him to pick up his fourth too early in that second half. But again, I have the utmost confidence in those guys coming off the bench that we're going to continue to play and make plays, and they come in and they play with a lot of confidence. So we have a group of guys that whatever five are out on the floor, we expect them to go out and perform, and they certainly do as well.
Justin?
Coach, obviously the first 2 nights, Javon just had monster games. And if you look at his stats tonight, okay, obviously they weren't as big as they were the first 2 games. But what he did in overtime, the way he kind of ran things, got to the free throw line, it seemed like in those crunch minutes, he kind of maybe got a second wind. Yeah, I mean, am I seeing things the right way there, or?
I mean, if 14-8's a bad night, I'll take that every single night.
Yeah.
And played 43 minutes again. He's probably rested about 6 total minutes this weekend. So again, I thought he was incredibly good at both ends of the floor, controlling the game. He's just a winner. And what I loved about him tonight, he recognized some other guys had it going. He was very willing passer, and just he's all about the right things all the time.
And that was gonna be my next question with Javon. Do you think he opened up a lot of eyes with the way he played over the 3 games?
Yeah, he should have. He's a tremendous player. I mean, Javon's one of those guys that I'll take on my team any day, anywhere, anytime. He's a high-level player. He'll play at the next level. He's about winning. He's about the right things, and I certainly love the approach that he has every day. He's all about the team. All he wants to do is win and continue to improve, and he would make any team better.
Thank you, Coach.
Cody?
Yeah, Coach. Obviously Javon was a star the first 2 days, and kind of Tucker tonight. But can you talk about the tournament Toby had, and how he feels his role on the team?
Yeah, Toby's tremendous. Again, we're talking about another guy that can really play. He's got all the tools. He's 6'8". He's long. He can defend. He can score it, and he's done a tremendous job of fitting into what's best for our team. And he can do even more. And tonight you kind of see that. And his success rate has gone up dramatically as he's gotten more and more comfortable with us. He gives us great effort, great attitude every single day. Again, another guy that he just wants to win, and that's why I love this group. And he'll continue to get better and better. He's all about the right things, and again, another guy that's going to play beyond his time here, and he has a bright future in front of him.
Question in the room for Bruce?
Toby, well, Tucker kind of addressed it, but I was just wondering what you thought going into that overtime. 3 days in a row, are you rolling your eyes thinking, here we are again, or is it just like whatever?
Personally, I feel that we're the team that was ready for the overtime. We played 2 overtime games, and I feel that we went in there confident that they just gave us an extra 5 minutes to prove that we should win the game.
And for both of you guys, I was curious too, just Toby, you hit a couple of big threes in the left corner there, and Tucker, of course, around the top of the key on the top off a screen sometimes. Did you expect to do that? Did you see something in their defense where you were like, hey, this is working, we're going to go there, or how did it play out?
I just feel that we just moved the ball around and we found the best shot at the moment. We weren't really picking for a specific shot, but we were just moving the ball. If the ball found me and Tucker and a couple other guys, and we let it rip.
Yeah, and I'd say the group today, once I saw a couple go down, I thought, Vaughn was able to, seek me out, and Toby and Amani were setting great screens, especially with the way they were playing Toby with, some of the matchups with the 5-man and drop. And, I thought it was, worked in both of our favors, able to kind of exploit that tonight, and, just happened to fall my way.
And just finally, I was just curious, you guys thinking about them is early now, but they're a Big 12 team. You guys were picked, I think, 13th or something. And I mean, do you feel like this is a sign you're quite a bit better than that?
I'll take that one. Yeah, I don't know that it's a sign of anything. Like I've told our team, we're just going out every day to try to be the best version of ourselves. And every night we line up and play, we're trying to win those 40 minutes. And, where that ends up at the end of the year is where it's going to end up. But, we're not really concerned about any of that stuff right now. And we're just really into what we're doing and what we're trying to do to get better and continue to progress and make strides as the season goes along.
We have time for three more, starting with Greg.
So, Coach, you said you've been trying to make strides since you got to West Virginia, but overall, what kind of statement does this entire tournament have? Beating a couple ranked teams, all of them going down to the wire and being able to pull out a couple of big ones.
I just think it says a lot about the work our guys have put in since they got on campus. They continue to believe in one another. I know this group feels like we still have, plenty to grow into, and we're excited about that. And they're just eager to work, and then that's the part that as coaches, that's all we want and ask for. I know even as a fan base, they just want to see our guys go out and compete and play as hard as they can, and our guys are certainly trying to do that every single night.
Bob?
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned when you came here that you wanted a tough group, a competitive group, a group with grit. How do you install that, especially with a new group that's coming together? I mean, and build the pride.
Again, I think it comes back to the team and their buy-in and their willingness to buy in to maybe giving a few things up of their own for the good of the team. And this group has embraced that. They accept coaching. They accept trying to do everything they can to maximize not only their individual potential but their team potential. And it's something we talk about every single day. It's something the players talk about amongst themselves every day. And then, over the course of time, it becomes what you are. But you don't get there without a great group of guys that will rally around each other and in the highs and the lows and continue to pull one another along because it is a long season. So when you have a group of men that are all about the right things, you end up on the positive side of things in terms of what you want your culture to look like.
Last question from Justin.
Yeah, a question for Tucker, and I get it that when you're in the heat of the moment, you're not really. There's so many other things to pay attention to than maybe where you are on the floor. But did you notice how far some of your threes were tonight? Did you ever notice, and did any of them amaze you on how far out you were when you hit them?
Tonight, no. Usually at home or road games, I don't really notice until the whole crowd goes, "Oh," and as it goes up. But I'll see them when I go back and watch it. But honestly, just not really thinking much about it. Just kind of playing my game and finding the spots to find open ones.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.